Okay.
All right, thank you all for coming. It's 4:30 and we'll call this meeting over with the pledge.
Regular 14.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from December 5th, 2022 meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion to approve December treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Agenda amendments? None. Correspondence? None. Old business? None. I'm slowly sinking in my chair.
Did you get the
I
chair?
got the chair. Oh my God.
Just
No.
old age or short.
Yeah, I know. New business. Do I have a motion to approve or deny Resolution 2022-24 approving required amendments to the pension plan?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Land development, Tammy?
He's going to have it on the screen here shortly. There we go. This is the Preston Auto Group Toyota of Erie Land Development Plan. We received this plan November 29th, 2021. This is located at 9140 Beach Street. It went in front of the Planning Commission on February 14th, 2022. In front of Erie County Planning, February 18th, 2022. Mr. Porter's here. Why don't you go ahead and present your land development?
I can briefly summarize, it's been a while, it's been a long road. We now have everything in place. Our challenges here were the wetlands on the site, and we've acquired all the permits from the Army Corps, DEP, for the development. It's been through township engineering, and they'd like to build this coming year. Any questions? Glad to answer, but hopefully at the end of the road.
Thank you. Do you remember just how long it took you to get the MPDS permit and all that?
Everything's in place, MPDS permit, the Chapter 105 letter permit, everything's in place.
It take you about a year to get through all that, or?
It did. The primary issue was the wetlands, and as you know, there's very high groundwater table here, so the stormwater management and the showing that there would be no impact to the wetlands because we have a heavy mitigation plan for the challenges and what took the time.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve or deny the land development plan for Preston Auto Group, parcel 40-19-83-12, 9140 Peach Street?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions?
Mark, are there any things in our ordinance or master plan and stuff that we've done? I understand these people have a lot of money invested in cars and stuff, but I came up again Peach Street, 11:45 Saturday night after my bowling league. Every car lot is lit up as bright, every pole. Can't we make them turn these lights down to, 25 or 30%? It looks like Erie. This is like.
Matt, you have the correct
Is there
answer, I guess,
any
for that?
control these people, not just this gentleman.
Yep.
The Honda store, the Nissan store, the Kia store, whatever else he has up there, they're lit up like you know, they're blowing the whole town. I can understand, you gotta protect your system, or your cars, no problem. But you don't need all those lights on. Turn it down to 50 or 30% or something. Their energy bills have gotta be outrageous, even with LED lights. Is there anything we can do to require this?
We do have provisions in the new zoning ordinance that require either half of it to go off at a certain hour or it to be dimmed. I believe Toyota is aware of those requirements and are going to comply. We'll have to wait and see. But the ones that are there now can continue to operate as they were under the old zoning ordinance until they update their fixtures. We've been in contact primarily with New Motors, because they were kind of one of the bigger offenders recently.
As well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
As well as they have to provide a photometric plan now. So that helps, and it cannot encroach on the neighbor's property. We've had people go ahead and shield them if they are encroaching on Peach Street. I think that helped with New Motors.
Yeah, on Peach Street, they took it off to the right of way. But their argument is people are breaking into the cars and.
Yeah, I'm not saying darken the whole parking lot, that's just foolish. I mean, these guys got millions of dollars worth of inventory there. But if there's 4 lights on a pole, turn 2 or 3 of them off, it still lights up very well. You know, you don't need all those lights. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I look out my window and it's just glowing, you know? Yes, they are energy efficient, but if you're running 4 lights, you're spending 4 times as much electricity as 1 light.
I think the new requirements do require them to cut it back quite a ways.
They do, but there's a little caveat in there for, they can leave it lit for security purposes.
Right.
That's kind of been the push that a lot of the car dealerships have been doing. So it's going to be a process, and it's probably going to be a painful one to get it to where we want it to be, but we are working on it. We do have a light sensor now, and now that it's winter, we can go out in the dark and measure photometrics and verify plans. But from the zoning perspective, it's more of a planning, it's in there as a planning thing, it's not really in there as a policing thing. So if they have a plan on a photometric plan, we can take our light meter out and compare it to the photometric plan and hold them to that. But if there's no photometric plan, we don't really have a whole lot. It's kind of more tongue-in-cheek type enforcement. But we discuss regularly with the car dealerships to try to reduce the amount of lighting that they're using.
And they're pretty good about working with us. It's not like it just falls on deaf ears. So they, like Tammy was saying, they have put shields up and try to confine the light pollution. So thank you. Okay, where are we at here? Motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve or deny partial road occupancy bond reduction for VNet, $4,000, Matt? You
Yes.
just touch on that.
And I have up on this overhead here, the kind of the concept plan of where they're running the cable. We have a $14,000 bond. It's 7 crossings at $2,000 a piece. It's the minimum bond that we require. They are directional drilling, but we require the bond just in case for some reason their directional drill gets stuck and they end up having to excavate the road. We have a bond in place to make sure they repair it per our requirements. And we discussed where they place the bond that we reduce it as they did in crossings. And currently they have 2 crossings done. So that's why we have the $4,000 reduction on this item here.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Solicitor.
I sent you an email regarding my determination that it was not proper for the township to submit a bond claim for raccoon refuses performance bond claim. So as you know, in August, they had made the determination they were going to shut their doors. The township had a contract with them in order to provide bi-weekly curbside pickup. They had a performance bond that would allow for you to recover any increase in cost that you would receive as a result of substitute service that you had to get due to the fact that they defaulted on their contract. We were unable to find any other provider that was willing to provide a recycling-only collection service, and as a result, the township had gone out and contracted with Waste Management to get dumpsters to allow residents to put the recycling into. And you know, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, there's about an $80,000 a year savings to the township as a result of that particular process. So I can't really make a performance bond claim against the bond as a result of an increase in cost, because you ended up saving money as a result of it. Had we been able to find a provider who was only able to, who was willing to only provide recycling services, likely that cost would have been an increase of what you were being charged by Raccoon Refuse, but nobody was willing to do it. So I just want to kind of follow up and you know, publicly state, you know, it was my recommendation to not move forward with a claim because we don't have an increase in cost that we're seeing as a result of their default. It's a decrease in service, but the market realities are such that nobody's willing to provide that service, so we're pretty stuck. So it's my recommendation to not make a claim, and that's why the township won't see anything further moving forward.
Okay. Any questions?
Can I ask a question, Mark?
Yes.
Obviously, we're breaking the law as a government of Summit Township because we're over 5,000 citizens and we are not having curbside pickup. So isn't that going to get us in trouble with the state?
We have 5 years to implement that, and we're hoping that the market changes in the next few years.
But that's been enacted since what, 12, 15 years ago?
No, we have 5 years from the date of notification to implement. So we've got a few more years left before any enforcement action could occur.
I think prior to that, Jim, we weren't under any requirements to have curbside pickup.
I think you are, Mark. I think you're wrong on that. Any township over 5,000, I thought, was you had to have curbside pickup. That's why we started it X amount of years ago.
No, so we were just mandated as of the 2020 census. When those numbers came out, we have 7,300 people. And there's a ratio, Jim, that, you know, you have to have so many people per square mile.
I just want to make sure that we don't get in trouble.
So we're newly mandated from the 2020 census, and we have 5 years to implement the curbside program. The curbside program Summit provided previously was just because they were doing the right thing by recycling.
I think you guys are wrong on that. I'm not 100%
I have the
sure.
letter from DEP, so.
Okay. Maybe they
Yeah,
changed
we've
it.
looked into it a little bit, we just can't go into it blind,
Yeah.
so.
Sandy had a question.
Yes, Sandy.
When we recycled and they picked up at our house, we had to separate everything, like the paper and cardboard had to be separated from plastic. You go over to put stuff in those dumpsters, you've got plastic, you've got cardboard, you've got paper, glass in one dumpster. Why
Well,
are
the
we-
glass goes in the
I
second
know, it goes over
dumpster.
here,
Yeah.
but they're not doing it. You know, and I don't know if you need to put a sign saying you can only put this. You know, you got enough dumpsters, have one for paper, have one for the plastic. The people just dump everything in there.
I got a bag of paint cans laying on the ground the other day with paint running all over the pavement. I mean, they don't care.
No.
No, but
But
you
we
are,
really haven't had any
No.
complaints from Waste Management.
we're allowed to commingle.
Because I think even if you were to separate those like you're talking about, they'd bring one truck
Okay, so we
and
don't have to
they
separate.
just dump it all in that one truck. They don't have, but the glass recycling,
Yeah, it's got.
that's a
one
separate, and
here,
they come and pick those up, but,
But I've seen glass on in there too.
yeah, I imagine. That's
Not me.
Right.
I've got it by the wall.
Yeah, but Waste Management really hasn't had any issues with it, you know, our dumpsters, so.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Larry Jones here. Along with our conversation about that, those dumpsters over there, can't anybody do anything with the lids on them to make it easier I personally couldn't lift those lids if my life depended upon it, so I used my cane to push them up and push them back.
Larry, the two on the ends have sliding doors on them, on each end, the one on either end, there's sliding doors on them, and
You
typically,
can't open them, nobody can open them.
Green ones on the side, that's sliding.
the sliders, you can, they're real easy to, we'll show you if you stop down there.
And some of them, they bring that bar down and the things are locked, does that mean it's full?
No, there's a lever that you have to unlock. Yeah, they do lock sometimes when they slam them down. The whole thing's goofy. We leave the lids open and then stuff starts blowing out all over the place, and then they are, the sliders on either end are easily accessible, for sure.
And last but not least, have a nice Christmas, everybody.
You too.
Thanks, Larry.
Matt?
Yeah, let me pull this up. So, this is the Hammond Road speed study I talked about. We had the speed counters out there last meeting. So these are the results. On the left is before we changed the speed limit, so this is the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. So our 85th percentile speed was 41 miles an hour, average daily traffic of 2,500 cars a day roughly. So afterwards, when we dropped it down to 25, the 85th percentile speed went down 1 mile an hour to 40. Average daily traffic decreased by around 200. It could be a fluke, but basically there was no real difference pre and post speed limit. The 10 mile an hour pace speed, which is the 10 mile an hour speed range where most people drive, went from 31 to 40 down to 28 to 37 miles an hour. So a little bit of a slowdown, but nothing to really write home about.
So the top speed dropped by 10 though?
Yeah, it did, and a lot of the speeders are still going through around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so. And then, let me close that out, sorry. I was talking with Tim prior to the meeting that we're going to be updating our transportation plan. I gave Tim the ordinance to kind of review. It's a short one-pager where we take the existing ordinance for the official map and change it based on the edits to the new official map. That requires a 45-day review period, which we're looking to hopefully start in January, and which would lead to an adoption probably mid-February or late March, depending on how everything goes. We did a traffic count on Old Zook Road near the bridge to see if it would qualify for the use of a geosynthetic reinforced soil interroll abutment bridge system. Big words, but basically a rock abutment with a regular superstructure. It'd be a bridge that the township would be able to build. One of the criteria is the traffic count has to be less than 700 cars a day. We're currently at 350 cars a day on Old Zook Road, so we do meet the criteria to continue exploring that option. And then I'm also working on the new road storm study. So we're looking at new road and ways we can kind of let the water move a little more efficiently in there, and then we don't have standing water within the ditches along the road. So that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor, well, does anybody have any questions? Supervisor Lee?
Well, thanks for coming and Merry Christmas.
Tony?
We just finished building truck number 23, which is our newest single axle Mack. It was out on the road today. And that turned out really well. Daryl and the guys did a really good job putting it together. There's one more coming next year, and that'll finalize our fleet replacement. And then we shouldn't need any more trucks for about 15 years. So hopefully we get that truck in a timely fashion, and will keep us up to date. Guess that's the big news. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming. Take care.
Yep, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Merry Christmas. Guys been out plowing and salting, trying to keep the roads safe. That's about it, so thanks for coming. Public input. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.